There were several pieces presented in this course that I have found had a huge impact on me. To start, there are several pieces on stress and stress management that I have found that have helped me quite a bit throughout my college career, especially towards the later end. I've always found myself in stressful situations, and one way or another, I always seem to find myself out of them. Even though I've gotten all through my stressful situations, I've always asked myself if there's a way to avoid it completely. After reading one of the required materials on stress and stress management, I found that there are a couple techniques that work for me to help me get out of stress situations. The biggest thing I took from these articles was that don't procrastinate. Procrastination is one of the biggest keys to stress, and I found that out firsthand. One thing I've done is made a conscious effort to complete as much homework assignments as I can before the due date. That way I don't get overwhelmed towards the end of it and feel like the stress is even coming on more. Another technique I found for my stress is to know my limits. I tend to push myself when it comes to school, work, pretty much anything in life. Typically when I push myself, I usually put a lot on myself and expect a lot as well, so I usually find myself stressed out towards the end of it. I found taking it step by step and day by day really does help and kind of lets me calm down a little bit. It really reduces my stress levels greatly. Another topic we discussed in this course that made an impact on me was the techniques to make a new habit stick. As human nature, to kind of habits, and I found myself to have a couple habits. One of the habits I have academically happens to be when I do homework, I'll complete assignment and then go do something completely random afterwards. I've always wanted to get in the habit of completing as many homework assignments as I can in a row and then going to do whatever I have to do afterwards. And one way or another, I found myself always going back to this habit. And after reading this article to find new habits, I've definitely found some techniques that really work to help me kind of stick to the new habits. One of the biggest things I took from the article was that change is uncomfortable and it always will be. So when it comes to my habit, I just needed to get in the groove of getting as much homework done as I possibly could. And that even though it was going to be different for me, and I probably wasn't going to like it, it's something that I needed to get done and something that ultimately would help me in the long run. Another thing the article taught me was it's okay to take it slow. When you start a new change, things can happen so quick and you don't want to get overwhelmed. So taking it step by step and taking it slow and not going into it too fast can really help you in the long run as well. The last piece we covered in the course that really stood out to me was the video featuring Eric Thomas. This video is really popular and it is a great motivational speech. In the video, Eric Thomas talks about success and how important it can be. He talks about comparing it to a story when a guy brought him out to the beach and asked him how bad he wants to be successful. The guy said real bad and had him go out to the water until he couldn't breathe anymore. He's pretty much comparing success to having you gotta want it as much as you gotta want to breathe. And that kind of really stuck to me as far as if you really want something super bad, you gotta go get it. Even though Eric Thomas in the video might have been extremely enthusiastic and kind of over the top in some cases, he had some really good principles and everything he's saying was pretty much spot on the money. I've adopted this mindset that Eric kind of set out. Definitely not as much of an enthusiastic way, but just the mindset itself has helped quite a bit. And anything that you want to do, you got to put 100% into. I found that life is way too short to make excuses or to be lazy or to tell yourself you're going to do something a different day. So the Eric Thomas video is a huge inspiration to me because it really showed me that there are people out there that are very successful and they got there by working extremely hard and never stopping. I found this to be true, especially in school, and I found firsthand that at the beginning of my school and throughout high school, I didn't work too hard, and I kind of got everything handed to me in my lap, and towards the end of college, it kind of really started to hit me that this wasn't going to be, that's not how it's going to fly anymore, and I really needed to start putting the work in and putting a mindset to it. And I've seen the Eric Thomas video before, and I never really thought much of it besides a cool inspirational video, but once you see it now towards the end of your college career and you get a little bit older, a little bit more mature, you kind of grasp it a little bit better, and it makes a lot more sense. After reading the articles in the course, I did some research on my own and found that there were a couple cool articles that I read that could really help me. I'm graduating here in about a week, so I wanted to find some cool tips that might help me as I'm going out to the real world. I found a website that talks about 10 tips for graduating students that I think would really help me, and the goals they listed are pretty cool. The first goal they talk about is aiming high, setting your standards up pretty high, and setting something up that you know you can achieve, but that you'll be proud of once you get there. The second one is know your limitations. They want to make sure you're not going too high to where you're setting a goal that's not attainable to you. Number three is get to know yourself. I think this is really important, and I think I wish I knew this when I was a younger kid. But number four is understanding the importance of internships and work experience. I felt I've done this pretty well. I've been working pretty much my whole life and have a vast work experience. Number five, all work experience is good experience. Number six, recognize the type of job you want. Number seven, network. Number eight, recognize the skills. Number nine, ask for help for your parents, but don't let them do it for you. I found this one to be a big key to me, and I've always took advantage of my parents when I was younger, but I think now it definitely helps that I live on my own and I can't really rely on them as much, but I know they're always there for me. And number 10 is be as prepared as you can for the unexpected. So the unexpected is always going to happen, and it's all a matter of how you react to it. After reading all these articles and watching all these videos and doing all this stuff, I really felt that this class helped me quite a bit as far as getting prepared outside of school and for the real world and for my job and for my life in the future. So I really took a lot from this class and enjoyed taking it. I wish I took it when I was younger, but I'm glad I got to take it at some point. So thank you.